Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, I will be showing you how you can turn a simple CSV into a chart by just using Python. So let's get started. Okay, so over here you can see the CSV file. It's a very simple CSV file with month, sales, expenses, and profit. And we are going to be turning this CSV into a chart by using Python. So I use this code to make the simple CSV you see over here. I'm going to be putting it in the GitHub repository link below, so be free to check it out. So basically what we're doing here is that we're importing pandas, we're making the data, we have put in the data, we have put it in a data frame, and then we're saving it as a CSV file. So this is for making the CSV file, but now let's go into making the chart from the CSV file. So the two main libraries that we are going to be using is called Pandas. So import Pandas as PD. And then second, we are going to be using matplotlib.pyplot. So import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So what's going to be going here is that Pandas is going to be basically reading the CSV for us, and Matplotlib is to plot it as the chart. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is loading the CSV file. So basically what we have to type in is data is equal to pd.readcsv data.csv. So it will just read the CSV for us and nothing much left. So this is the first line of code after the import. The next thing that we're going to be needing is show the columns for the user to choose. So I'm going to be putting print columns in CSV. So let's print columns in CSV. And then after that, we're going to be listing data.columns. So list data.columns. So we're printing columns in CSV and then list data.columns. If we just run this, let's just see if this is correct. It's going to be taking a bit time, and you can see that it is listing the columns for us. So we have months, sales, expenses, and profit. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to be doing is we are going to be setting in the x-axis. So the x-axis, which column we're going to be using. So it is automatically going to be data.columns 0. So what we're doing is that we're assuming the first column is the x-axis, so that it's very simple for us and we don't have to give the data for both x and y. So for us, the x-axis is obviously the month. So horizontally is the x-axis, so it's going to be like January, February, March, April, May, June over here. And then the y-axis we will be able to choose. So let me teach you how to implement that. Okay, so now the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be typing in y column. Y col is equal to. Now from here, we are going to be doing an input so that we can choose. So we're going to be inputting. So let's input. We're going to be doing an f string. Enter column name for y-axis. And then after that, options is this all. So let's just text it out. So if I run this, let's give it a second. Okay, so it's saying enter column name for y-axis, options, sales, expenses, and profit. So I can just type in sales and then nothing will happen. So there has been a slight error here. We have to move the columns in CSV above the whole thing. So let's just put it right over here. And if we run it again, everything should go smoothly. So what I did over here is that I have an input and I chose for them to enter the column name for the y-axis with the options of the list of data.columns after number 1. So in Python, let's say we have all of this over here. So we have month, sales, expenses, and profit. The first one, the first input inside the list will always be index number 0. and the further up we go, it goes from 0 to 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and onwards. So this is something useful that you can keep in mind, is that it doesn't start from 0, it always starts from 1 in a list in Python. Okay, so now that we have that, we can go on to plotting the chart, which is the most fun thing of this video, which is plot chart. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be typing plt.plot, and I am just going to be doing data x call, data y call, and marker is O, line style, so line style is going to be a hyphen, and lastly the color, you can choose any color you want, so I'm going to be putting a color of blue. So let me just teach you what we did here. We are plotting the chart. This, if we hover over it, you can see the arguments that we're using, but basically what's going on is that the first x column is going to be the data x column, the y column, the marker, the line style, which is going to be hyphen, straight line, and then the color that we're going to be using is blue. So this is very simple. This is the most important part of code inside this file. So we can just continue from here. We can just put a title, any title you want, but I'm putting y column over x column. Then after that, we have to put the x label, so I'm just going to put it as the x column, and the y label to be the y column. So basically what we're doing here is that we're putting the title, the x label, and the y label for the chart. Next thing, we're going to be putting it in a grid. So let me show you what the grid means later on while we are checking out the main chart. So put plt.grid to be true, and lastly plt.show. So if I run this, okay, let's run this now. So we have put in all the code. So you can see it's showing us the columns in CSV, which came from the the sixth line right over here. And the x column, it's already assuming the first column is the x-axis, and from the y column, it's allowing us to choose from sales, expenses, and profit. So let me put in profit. And here you can see that we have our main chart. So you can see that the x-axis is the month and the y-axis is the profit. We have the chart, we have blue, and the marker is this thing over here. The background you can see is a grid, and you can also save it automatically. So from here, if you go and click the file button, you can save it, you can reset original view, and you can just change the chart however you want it. So this is how you can make a chart that is customizable. There is no hard coding, and you can also export it and save it on your local computer.